Why not grease the palm? It is often heard. Why not grease the palm? It will speed up things. The attitude of the society towards corruption is somewhat like this. There are people who think that bribing is not a sin, but simply the transfer of money from one person's hand to another one's pocket. But is the path of corruption as simple as that? A customs official in Mumbai suddenly had a desire to make money. He demanded bribe and got it. We may ask, why bother if his pocket is bulging or not? But what did he do after making a fast buck? Helped someone to bring in a consignment of a highly dangerous explosive, RDX. And the result? The serial bomb blasts that shocked Mumbai. In the savage attack in which 3 precious lives were lost and several people were injured. Now, is bribing a simple transfer of money from one man's pocket to another man's? Corruption is an enemy of national security. Rajiv Gandhi, when he was Prime Minister, said that from every rupee spent on poverty eradication programs, only 15 paise went to the poor. The remaining 85 paise was lost on the way, half of it as wages and the other half as greased money. Now can we say that corruption is a simple transfer of money from one's pocket to another? Corruption is an enemy of the poor man. It is the responsibility of the government to feed the poor. That is why the public distribution network was put into shape. Listen to the news about PDS. 35% of rationed rice and 36% of rationed sugar usually go to the black market. One may dismiss this, asking what harm is there if someone makes an added buck. But can it be dismissed like that? The subsidy given by the government for providing ration for the poor amounts to a whopping 10,000 crore. A substantial portion of this goes to the pockets of the black marketeers. This is more than the planned outlay for many states. Is it not akin to picking the pocket of the poor? Now is corruption a simple procedure of transfer of one man's money to the pocket of another? Corruption is the enemy of planning. There is a story about the former chief minister. When he was in power, his brother-in-law met him one day with a complaint. He had to shell out rupees 300 to obtain a certificate from a village officer. "When you are ruling, how dare a village officer seek money from me?" he asked. The chief minister did not say anything. He went inside and came back with a 100-rupee note. He gave it to his brother-in-law and said, "This is my share. Since you are my brother-in-law, I do not want this." The equations of corruption are by and large clear now, it seems. Only when corruption explodes do the people take note of it. Remember Tehelka. What Tehelka had brought out was the fact that defense procurement was steeped in corruption. Here again, can it be said that corruption is a simple transfer of money from one pocket to another? Corruption is the enemy of national defense. One small corruption story from the capital itself. The police and Delhi municipal administration officials used to regularly collect bribes from petty shop owners and cycle rickshaw drivers. There was no one in Delhi who did not know this. An organization named Manasi conducted a study on it. Their finding was unbelievable. 1 month's collection in this regard totaled rupees 40 crore. The matter was brought to the notice of the Prime Minister. He intervened in the matter and cancelled the system of licensing for petty shop owners and cycle rickshaws. black money in India was said to be far in excess of the combined revenue of central and state governments by rupees 700,000 crore. Indira Gandhi once said, "Corruption is a global phenomenon." The statement sparked criticism that she was justifying corruption. Cartoonists went to town with it. Yet we cannot ignore the truth contained in it. Much before globalization came in the economic sector, corruption had been globalized. The flow of corruption had always been from top to bottom. National leaders in many countries served as models for this. Don't you want to know who all were the world leaders who were the most corrupt? Here is the table. Suharto, Indonesia, $35,000 million. Ferdinand Marcos, Philippines, $10,000 million. General Sani Abacha, Nigeria, $500,000 million. Slobodan Milosevic, Serbia, $100,000 million. Duvalier, Haiti, $30,000 million. We may feel relieved to find no one from India in this list. Relieved, all right, but don't brag or bluster. Transparency International has found that in the matter of corruption, India occupies a pride of place. The nation with the least corruption is Finland, followed up by Denmark, New Zealand, Iceland, and Singapore. Our consolation is that Pakistan is more corrupt than us. Is it a fair consolation? What is the way to prevent corruption? From K. Santhanam Committee onwards, many have opened up many paths in front of us, but we could not go along those paths, or we did not try to go. Once the Central Vigilance Commission was set up, it was felt a thunderbolt would hit corruption on its head. But what is born in fire is unlikely to fade in sunlight. Corruption is continuing as such and growing too, but there is an easy way to prevent corruption, the only way. Do not give bribe. Do not accept bribe.